Welcome to the Superhero's Journey, episode number 2, podcast where we talk mainly about superhero movies and TV shows with a bit of Star Wars and other things in the genre. My name is Carl Freemerman, and with me is my co-host. Go for it, right?
Brian Shores.
Brian Shores, my co-host.
Co-host.
Brian Shores. Okay, we're going with it.
Yep.
Co-host. You can find us on Twitter at Superhero Journey. That's no E in super. And write to us at the Superhero's Journey at gmail.com, where heroes is plural, not possessive. As always, we'll be talking about the news stories of the week. And you can also join us for our spoiler-filled TV discussion breakout that we'll be doing as a separate podcast now. How you doing, Brian?
Fairly good.
All right. We had a little trouble with our audio, and it was an arduous task, and we're going to try and make this as good as possible, as annoyed as we might be right now.
Yeah. It was only an hour and 40 minutes of pure bliss, but we are ready to go.
It's great audio that we did not save for any of you people.
No.
Because you don't want to hear it. So let's get into this already, all right?
All right.
First things first, Sony, the Venom movie,
Yes.
has cast Tom Hardy as Eddie Brock.
Yep.
Also with Zombieland and Gangster Squad's Ruben Fleischer as the director.
Which I am very excited for that.
Yeah, I like that director choice.
Yeah.
This has a date of October 5th, 2018.
Which I think is a little ambitious, but
And yes, might be. And I also hope it doesn't happen at all.
yeah. I'm relatively indifferent to the news. I don't understand why they would try and do a Venom movie and not have it be in the MCU. That seems like something they would, fight tooth and nail to.
Right, and that's the big problem with this idea. It is not going to be part of the MCU.
Yeah.
How do you do Venom without Spider-Man?
Yeah. Even if you do it without the Secret Wars, they were still able to do it in Spider-Man 3, however not great of a movie that was.
Right.
Like,
Now, I know you can do Venom without Spider-Man. The question is, why would you do Venom without Spider-Man?
yeah.
Obviously, with Sony, it's just to make a buck. I don't think they really care. I think they're just trying to put this out there because they want to have their movies out there. And this really bothers me. I don't like that they're gonna try to expand their Spider-Man properties into different movies without the MCU. This is just, what's the point? I mean, hopefully they change their tune if when Spider-Man comes out in July and it's a huge hit, makes $1 billion potentially, and then they realize, oh wait, maybe we shouldn't do this stuff. But I think it's too late. I think this is just gonna happen.
Yeah, I have a feeling that this is something that's going to be in motion and can't be stopped. I did have a little hope where Tom Holland has been quoted as saying he hasn't read the script yet, but he's excited for the movie and that he hopes that in some way he can be part of it. So
He ain't gonna be part of it.
No, I'm sure that's complete wishful thinking on his part. Wishful thinking on my part too. Because for even what little we've seen of him, I really enjoy his Spider-Man and Peter Parker. But there's so much that I feel as though they're not going to be able to do, with Eddie Brock without having him, have the interaction with Peter Parker. I think they're just going to be really missing out. And on top of that, I don't love the casting choice of Tom Hardy. I don't think he's going to do
I
like
like
the
Tom Hardy.
I like Tom
I
Hardy.
can do it. I can go with that. But that
I don't
doesn't
know.
bother me really.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know who else I would have cast for it, but
Topher Grace, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, Topher Grace, it wasn't a good movie, Spider-Man 3, but at least I understood why they cast him, because they wanted to have an analog to Tobey Maguire,
Right.
which Topher Grace was.
That casting didn't bother me either.
Yeah.
So
But
it's always the implementation of the character that we're worried about, and in this case, not being part of the MCU, not having Spider-Man, that you're the foil to, is going to be a big problem for this. It may end up being a fine movie,
sure.
but I don't see the reasoning behind getting this out there so quickly.
Yeah.
Before even knowing how well this Amazing Spider-Man movie does, or sorry, Spider-Man Homecoming movie.
Yeah, I do. The only thing that does give me a little hope for this, and is non-canon that I know I think I've recommended to you in the past, Carl, is a short film you can find on YouTube called Truth in Journalism. Did you ever watch that, or have you ever seen it?
Is that you're talking about the Venom thing?
The Venom, black and white
with,
Venom.
The guy from True Blood.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was good. I watched that. It was entertaining.
That gives me. They actually did such a good job with that because you don't necessarily know what it is until the very end.
Right, and look, maybe that's the whole basis for this, because they did in the description saying that it's going to be more of a horror-ish, maybe even sci-fi-ish at times version of it, which makes sense for the Venom character.
Yeah, I have a feeling that the impression that I got, and found it on nothing, but the first thing that came to mind when they were saying that it was going to be more in the horror genre, a little sci-fi, is that it's going to be along the line of Alien. You know, that, and I think if you look at the xenomorph from Alien, I think you get a very good depiction of what Venom could look like, at least with that, just that mouth that just keeps on opening with the fangs.
Yeah.
All of the ooze and slime coming off it, which was KY jelly. It was,
Fun fact, right?
Geiger was really messed up when he designed that stuff.
Look, what are we talking? We're talking about Alien 1 and Aliens, because if it's any other version of Alien, we don't want that.
No, and let's be honest, Aliens, those series kind of fall in line with the Terminator movies, I think, where the first one's really good and iconic, but the second one is the one that you remember and the one that you quote and the one that you recommend to people, but you still have to watch the first one to appreciate it. The other ones are relatively forgettable.
Yeah. I have a hard time deciding which one I liked more, Alien or Aliens, but
I would say Aliens the one that I like more.
I find the first Alien more memorable in that the ship design was so great, and so unique, and that practical set that they made was just brilliant.
Yeah, no, it was a beautiful looking movie. Geiger's production design was incredible, and there's reasons why there's books on it. I'm sure you can take college courses on it. And I'll even go as far as to say that I think Alien is the better movie out of the two. But Aliens is the one that made more of an impact on me. It's the one that I thought was more enjoyable.
Okay.
It was just more of a fun movie, I think. So maybe the Venom movie can pull that off, and
we got to get something like that out of it. But I mean, my hope of all hopes, that somehow this doesn't happen, and the only way I can see this not happening, and this is a long shot, but there were rumors that Sony might have been up to selling Sony Pictures.
Yeah.
Now, if Disney swooped in and bought Sony Pictures, then there you go, problem solved. You don't even have to worry about this. They can just say, hey, guess what? This is on hold. Everything is MCU with Spider-Man.
I don't even know if they would put it on hold. I think Kevin Feige would just do a really quick retooling of it.
I think he's much more calculated than that. He would definitely have to spend more time than just be like a quick, hey, we can still make it in 2018. There's no way.
Well, I'm sure it would get pushed back a year, but to take something that's already full in production, I think
Well, that's why this has to happen quick.
Yeah.
You can't let it go. And this is going to start production this year.
Yeah.
To come out next year. So, I think we can move on to the next bit of news about the Flash movie.
All right.
And Entertainment Weekly reported that Robert Zemeckis is the frontrunner to direct the Flash movie right now.
Which gives me so much hope for that.
That would be a fantastic choice. Also, we have Matthew Vaughn being considered, another fantastic choice.
Yeah.
They also said that Sam Raimi and Mark Webb were in the running, but have passed on the director job.
I'm kind of okay with both of them passing.
Mark Webb for sure.
Yeah.
Out of those choices, I would have said Sam Raimi because, for one, Robert Zemeckis and Matthew Vaughn need to steer clear of anything DC because they have much better reputations than anything coming out of the DCEU right now. And as far as this particular production is and how troubled it's been, I would stay the hell away. Whereas Sam Raimi has not had anything big going on lately, and I could see this being as like a big coming back, I'm going to make a name for myself again and do something great with this movie.
Well, I think this is also very indicative of DC trying to ape what Marvel was doing, because they first went after Joss Whedon and got him, and now they're going after Mark Webb and Sam Raimi, and I'm completely spacing Vaughn, who all did very successful Marvel properties, even if it's not strictly MCU. You have the guy who did the original Spider-Man movie. You have the guy who did the Amazing Spider-Man movie. You have the guy who did X-Men First Class, which I will forever say was the best X-Men movie.
Absolutely, I agree.
They're going after these very talented directors, and I am completely down for them taking the reins on these.
Yeah.
But I think it's them not realizing what made these movies great and going after the talent and just kind of shooting blind. So while I do have a lot of hope for them bringing in these people like, the Joss Whedon and, Vaughn and, I am excited and worried about Zemeckis coming in.
Yeah, I don't know how they expect someone like Zemeckis to decide to do this if people like Sam Raimi and Mark Webb are going to say no.
Yeah.
And as well, you've already had two directors back out of this movie before. Where did they get off thinking that someone of that stature is gonna say, yeah, I'll do that movie? that just got a page one rewrite.
Yeah.
Is the script even finished yet at this point? I doubt it.
I don't think it matters. I think once they get a new director,
he's gonna have input on it.
He's gonna have input on it, and I think we're gonna see a really big shakeup in the DCU, or at least hopefully. Because just complete speculation, but and I don't know if we're going to talk about it later, but the reshoots that they're doing with Justice League now, I have a good feeling that a lot of it came from Joss Whedon coming in and just being like, oh, hey, let me see your movie, and giving notes. And
but
then
is that the reshoots thing? I'm not sure if that's actually true. Because I did read it one place, and then I saw another place that they were debunking the fact that they were doing reshoots. And then they said that, they're going to do pickups, which, if you know what pickups are, when they need to fill, there's a problem with this particular shot, so they need to film it from, let's say, a different angle, or whatever that little aspect they need to do. Not the same as full reshoots, which is, I mean, it's not to say that.
Well, most movies go through reshoots
right,
anyway.
Right, that's pretty common. So it's not to say that they aren't doing reshoots, but that might not be the case.
Yeah,
and it might not even matter.
I mean, I like we've said all along. I genuinely hope that all of these movies are good movies, because we're gonna see them, and we're gonna invest time and interest. And if they're not good, then we're going to. Invest aggression, probably undue aggression.
Of course, no, and the reason I'm so passionate about who they choose for this movie, and also all the problems they've had, is because the Flash is actually my favorite DC character.
Yeah,
I'm not a huge DC fan, but I do like a lot of DC stuff. I watch pretty much all the DC or the major DC TV shows.
Yeah,
and I go out of my way to watch the movies. I've read a fair bit of comics, not too much from DC, but. The Flash is my favorite. He's fun, His power is cool and it's different. It's not just I'm super strong and I can punch things and I can take a lot of damage. That's a very common thing. Flash can do so many cool things with his power. I want to see a great movie out of it.
Yeah, I mean, Flash is definitely probably in the top 5 of my favorite DC heroes. I mean, my top is still going to be Starman, and then somewhere in there is going to be a Green Lantern or two.
Starman.
Dude, just read Starman.
I'm sure it's great.
I'm gonna lend you the Sins of the Father omnibus, and you're gonna read it, and you're gonna be like, shit, that was really good, because it's just an incredibly well written story. It could be in any medium. I just genuinely enjoy it and love it. It's very insular, but we don't need to get into that because we're discussing the Flash.
Right.
But I want the best for a character that I love. That's really what it comes down to. I want it to where this is going to be a lot of people's first Flash, even people that aren't watching the show with Grant Gustin, who...
Right. But I think that makes it exceedingly difficult for this movie to sway over a lot of people, because that show has a strong fan base, and it may not be a huge fan base because it's CW. CW doesn't have the same viewership as a lot of other networks, but it still has a nice big fan base, and all your big DC fans are gonna be up on that or watching that show for the most part. So they already have a Flash that they're attached to and they love, and they've done awesome, incredible things on that show. Sometimes the show is, it's a network show. It gets cheesy at times, and it's too long and filler because there's too many episodes per season. But that's just typical network TV stuff.
Yeah.
In the movie, you would expect to do better, but already they've cast a guy who a lot of people don't like. I don't have confidence in.
Yeah, the only
Ezra Miller, by the way, is the actor.
The only thing that I've seen Ezra Miller in was Fantastic Beasts. He was barely given a chance to do anything, so I'm kind of going in with a blank slate. I don't think he looks the part, but at the same time, like, that doesn't matter to me too much.
He always seems to play someone who's kind of off and strange.
Yeah.
And awkward. Obviously, Fantastic Beasts was that character, and then the other movie, Trainwreck.
Okay, yeah.
He was in as well. He was another weird off character in that.
I think he was in Perks of Being a Wallflower too, which I never saw. But
yeah, I can't speak to that. I don't know anything about it. So, all right, let's move on to Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. At it again.
Oh yeah.
He was asked in an interview who would be his Shazam if he could cast him, and his answer was, "I'm not even going to say his name. I'm just going to say Lone Ranger."
Yeah.
Which is obviously Armie Hammer.
Yep. So you are going to say his name.
Right.
Yeah.
You definitely outed the exact person that you wanted to say.
Yeah.
Do you like Armie Hammer?
I like him just fine.
Did you see Lone Ranger?
I tried watching it. I thought Johnny Depp was a little hard to get through, so I didn't finish it.
I actually enjoyed that movie.
Yeah.
It's not perfect. It goes over the top sometimes, a little more than it should. But Armie Hammer, I thought he was good in that movie. I actually like him.
Yeah. What little I've seen him in, I've enjoyed his portrayal. I liked him in Social Network, playing the Winklevi.
Oh right, yeah.
I thought that was really good.
Yeah, very different role from what you see him in other movies. I think he's a pretty good actor. I like him.
Yeah.
And I would definitely go with this choice. I actually looked up. I was surprised to find out he is 6'5", same as The Rock. That works really well. You know, you don't want someone who's tiny compared to The Rock. I know you can do movie magic to make that work, but this way you don't have to. Though.
Yeah.
More believable. So I would definitely be on board with that choice.
Honestly, if I had my way and I had to pick one person to play him, I would be stuck between. Actually, no. I'd be stuck between two people.
My favorite is one of them my favorite.
One of them is not your favorite.
Damn it,
Carl! You can tell the masses who you would cast. Well, and I will say yours is probably better casting than either of my choices because one is already in the DCU and the other is, I think, too old for the part.
Okay, so my favorite is star of Magic Mike. And 21 Jump Street, Channing Tatum.
If only you guys could have seen Carl's delivery. The borderline jazz hands.
Yeah, right. But more 21 Jump Street, Channing Tatum.
Yeah. No, he's a good actor, and he's one of those actors where, for some reason, I really want to hate him, because I don't know. Like, my first impression was that he's just one of those like douches who's pounding like monster drinks, wearing Affliction shirts, and fucking my ex-girlfriend. But like, but he's just so very likable, and I've enjoyed him in everything that I've seen him in. I've even I don't even remember the name of the movie. It was the one where Rachel McAdams lost her memory and he was her husband.
Oh boy, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but he was good in that. He's good in comedy. He's all around. He's a good actor. He's very charismatic.
21 Jump Street proved to me that this guy, he can do comedy, but he's very charismatic. He's very likable in these movies. And when it comes to Shazam, he also has that boyish charm.
Yeah.
But he's also a very big guy. He looks thick. He looks wide. He's got that physique that you need for Shazam.
Yeah, I never saw Magic Mike. I'll take your word on it.
Well, neither did I.
Sure.
But I'm assuming I've seen.
Why are your fingers crossed while you're saying this, Carl?
I've seen the picture.
What is with the winking?
Okay. I'm sure Magic Mike is a fine movie.
Yeah.
If you're a woman, or you're into men.
Yeah. Why
which neither of us are.
Yeah.
But there's definitely people who are into that. as
Sure.
far as Magic Mike goes, we're never gonna watch that movie. So let's move on from that. And just to say that Channing Tatum, man, you need someone who can do that boyish charm, because if anybody who is listening doesn't know, Shazam is a young child, he's a 10-year-old, yeah, who
Billy Batson
gets these powers that lets him transform into a adult, very much like Superman, who has super strength and can fly, but he's still that boy inside in a lot of ways. So he's naive, and you want that, and he's also a name actor who can headline up against The Rock, which is another problem. Now, I think Armie Hammer is not a big enough name, but I do think that he has been out there enough. He's a guy who I think if the movie does well enough, he can be that breakout lead actor. He's had chances, and the movies just haven't worked out for him, and it's never been his fault.
Yeah. Well, also remember, Armie Hammer was cast to play Bruce Wayne / Batman in the failed George Miller Justice League.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, the one with Adam Brody and which I would have been all in to see.
Be okay with that too. Yeah.
Yeah, because I liked that cast. Not all of it was perfect, like physical looking to the comics, but I was into it. I liked it. I don't remember everyone who was in there. I remember liking the look of the woman who got to play Wonder Woman, because I think they cast a model, so there wasn't really anything to look in or compare her the acting at.
Like Gal Gadot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except she was in that car movie.
Yeah.
Where she was the one who, wore the bathing suit, and that was the whole arc of her character.
She got the booty slap. She got those sweet fingerprints.
Oh yeah. But no, the two people that I would pick to play Shazam or Captain Marvel would be Henry.
Well,
what's up?
Let's not call him Captain Marvel.
No,
he will always be Shazam now forever.
No, he started from Fawcett Comics.
Doesn't matter.
Captain Marvel. Nope. He will always be Captain Marvel to me.
Nope.
You're on your own.
Captain Marvel is now a woman, and she's in the MCU.
Look,
coming up soon, played by Brie Larson.
It's the 90s. We accept transgender. If Captain Marvel's gender identity is to truly be a woman, that's fine, because we already
It's a very progressive movie now.
It's a very progressive movie. Yeah. He started out as a 10-year-old boy, and now he feels he needs to be a woman in his 20s. And who are we to judge that?
It's true.
Yeah. No, fine.
Your choices? Please go on.
Okay, yeah. My choices for Shazam. The first one is just based off the look alone. Henry Cavill, I think. I think he.
Yeah. Okay.
Just based off the look alone. I'm not talking about acting or anything like that.
You don't have the personality. I'll say that.
I haven't seen him enough to know that he can't pull it off. I don't think I've ever seen him in a comedy or anything lighthearted.
I mean, look. All you gotta do is watch. I didn't finish this movie, but the Uncle movie.
Uncle Buck with John Candy.
No. The spy movie. Something with Armie Hammer and Henry Cavill.
Oh, Man from U.N.C.L.E.
Man from U.N.C.L.E. And Armie Hammer. I mean, now in that movie, Henry Cavill is much more charismatic than he is in Superman.
Yeah.
Or as Superman in Man of Steel and Batman vs Superman. But Armie Hammer is just the better actor in that movie. You can tell right away. And he's also he's playing a Russian guy, doing a different accent, and he's just better.
What is with you and Russian accents?
What do you mean?
You were so hung up last week on Black Widow not having the Russian accent.
Oh yeah,
Welcome to the new segment of the show, Carl's gripe with no Russian accent.
But I like Russian accents. I want to hear them. They do work for me. Arrow. The best thing about Arrow is he got people giving me Russian accents.
Carl, just really quick, which is your favorite Rocky movie?
Rocky 4. It's not really true, but it's the one I remember the most because I haven't watched these movies a lot. Okay.
And no, forget it. I forgot the name.
It's not like Ivan Drago actually talks a lot in that movie, though. He's really got only a handful of lines.
Yeah, he really just has to punch people to death, and then later be a terrible He-Man and Punisher.
All right.
And then just really quick, the last one I'll just say
right.
is Jerry O'Connell. Jerry O'Connell, I think, maybe 5-10 years ago would have been the perfect casting if
Robin?
he just. No, that was Chris O'Donnell. Wow.
All right, please explain to me who Jerry O'Connell
Jerry
is.
O'Connell. He's married to Rebecca Romaine. I'm sure you know him from that. But he was
I
also
know
he
who
was
she
in
is.
what?
I know who she is.
Yeah, he was the lead character on the show Sliders for a long time. I think until recently he just had a show, probably on like TNT or TBS. I think it was a lawyer show. But he's done a whole bunch of movies. He did that movie Tomcats. Just trying to name the most he was in Stand By Me. He was the chubby kid.
So he's not a big name actor.
Not anymore. He had his time, but I think this could have been like his Travolta moment with Pulp Fiction, where he was recognizable enough where people are like, I know that. Hey, that guy's really good. Because I think he actually does have the ability to pull off that role, where he could come off as like tougher, foreboding, but still be very charismatic and likable and fun and friendly and youthful.
Yeah.
I've seen him enough, and I've been enough of a fan of his going back to when I was a kid, not only watching Stand By Me, but a show from Canada called My Secret Identity. So he already has the superhero chops from his childhood. But no, that's who I would have liked to have seen cast. I think he might be a little too old.
Yeah, I'm just gonna. Obviously, he's not a big enough name to go up against The Rock, or to play against The Rock in Shazam, because, of course, we've already, for some reason, cast the villain ahead of the hero in that movie. But
I mean, if The Rock wants to make a movie, I'm pretty sure they're just gonna let him make a movie.
Well, yeah, because he brings in the big bucks.
Yeah.
He puts butts in the seats.
Yeah.
But the last thing I wanted to say quickly on Channing Tatum.
Sure.
That Gambit movie not happening, so he should be free.
Yeah, I'm glad that Gambit movie's not happening, because regardless of what people think, I still really like Taylor Kitsch in the role. I think.
Let's not go into Taylor Kitsch in the role.
Look, I would just say that it wasn't a good movie, but he was good as Gambit.
Right. I can't really say because the movie was bad. So, and it wasted his role. It didn't matter.
He was good in John Carter.
Yes, he was.
He was very good in John Carter. And to hell with anyone who says that was not a good movie, because I genuinely enjoy that movie.
Cheers to that, my friend.
Oh, yes.
So, one more thing The Rock said, as we've been going on for quite a while about this. He also was asked if Black Adam was going to put the smackdown on Superman, to which he replied, "One fine day, that's coming. That's in the cards." which I mean, I feel like is...
I think that's a lot of, like, pro wrestler hype.
Yeah. He's definitely... From listening to him say it, I don't know if that's really happening. He's just... It's conjecture at this point. He thinks it's going to happen. And look, it probably will.
It could very well happen.
Because it seems like the plan is that Black Adam is going to be a larger villain or even anti-hero at times, helping them out in the DCEU.
I would love that.
If it gets that far,
we can give The Rock the Spock ears. I'm happy.
As much as we've said we want it to crash and burn, I would also like it to correct course and actually succeed in doing that as well. It would be nice.
Literally nothing would make me, well, not literally. A lot of things would make me happier, but that would bring a smile to my face to see them actually turn that around and have it be a very enjoyable movie with likable characters and have it being light and airy and fun.
Yeah, man, I want to like a DCEU character.
Yeah.
I don't like any of them. Not a single one yet.
I like the look of Batman. I like how he fights. I don't like that he kills people, but that's the closest thing they've done to get me.
I don't like that. It's funny. My fiance pointed this out, that he's an alcoholic in that movie.
Oh, straight up, yeah.
You don't actually see him drink. I mean, there's one comment about it, but like, if you were just to like edit in a bottle in his hand in a bunch of scenes, then it would all make much more sense.
Yeah.
Fun little fact about that movie. Batman is definitely an alcoholic in Batman vs Superman.
Very much so. Disappointingly so.
I mean, it's fine. You could do that as a story if you actually intended to make that the case, and you do like the...
As long as they made a sequence where it showed him drying out, and made it so that it was a thing where something happened, let's say it was the death of Jason Todd that drove him over the edge, and he's like, I can't be Batman anymore. Or he kills the Joker, and he's like, I'm done. I have to hang up the cape, and drinking is the only thing that would like numb like the urge to go out and fight. And
Drinking numbs the fact that I brought this child into this world of crime fighting, and
Yeah.
he got murdered horribly by this crazy evil clown guy, who's kind of my fault also in some ways.
Yeah, but then you just have a sequence where it's like him drying out because he meets a new Robin, and
Moving on
yeah,
to fun stuff.
yay, fun
Happy
stuff.
things. James Gunn.
Yay,
We love this guy.
great guy.
Yeah.
Going back to the specials and all the other stuff.
Yeah. He talked about why Nathan Fillion, his cameo in Guardians of the Galaxy was cut.
Mm-hmm.
His cameo was of Simon Williams, also known as Wonder Man.
Mm-hmm.
And what they did was they had, he said he's going to release these, but they did release one. They made these movie posters. Simon Williams, the character, is an actor in the universe, and he was supposed to be playing like in a movie where he plays Tony Stark, right?
Oh, okay.
It's like a biopic about Tony Stark, and Simon Williams is playing him, and there was going to be posters there. You're going to see that, and there's a couple others that he's going to release. So
Okay.
I'm curious to see what the other ones were, what other characters he played.
All right.
It's just fun little things, but he.
I don't understand how that fits the context of Guardians of the Galaxy, though.
Well, yeah, I guess it was going to be somewhere. This is the reason why he said he cut it.
Yeah.
Also, I didn't write that in the quote, but he did say when he was speaking about it that he cut it because it didn't really flow with the movie.
Well,
Wherever
'cause
that scene was, I don't
Yeah.
know what it was. It would have been something on Earth.
I imagine probably when those pods that he planted started to explode,
Right,
I'm
exactly.
sure that there was like one by studio and you saw it or something.
Yeah, something random
Maybe.
like that.
But
So, quote, here's what he said about why it was cut. He says, I didn't have a good cameo for him in Volume 2, Guardians 2, obviously, and I wanted to bring him more fully into the MCU at some point. So I didn't want to make him, guard number 2, narrowing his chances of a more substantial role in the future.
which I fully accept and appreciate that.
Yeah, and I'm happy about that because I think generally speaking, everyone loves Nathan Fillion,
Yeah.
and they want him to play a significant superhero role in some movie somewhere.
Yeah. I've been a fan of his since he was on Two Guys, a Girl, and a Pizza Place. And I was very excited when that show ended because it was not good. And then he showed up on Firefly, show I genuinely love.
Yeah, and I mean, you know him better than I do. I didn't watch either of those shows. I should watch Firefly.
No, Two Guys, a Girl, and a Pizza Place. I mean, you have Ryan Reynolds and Nathan Fillion playing off each other.
That can't be bad, right?
Yeah.
You'd think.
You'd be wrong
Yeah.
if you thought that. But I mean, I was like
Damn it.
I was like a sophomore in high school.
Yeah.
What did I know? It was
All
on
right.
ABC.
But yeah, like I feel like it's a race between Marvel and DC. Who's gonna get Nathan Fillion? Because everybody,
I think it's Marvel.
yeah, obviously, because he's a friend of James Gunn.
And well, actually, because he's also a friend of Joss Whedon,
Oh,
and I think he's a better friend of Joss Whedon. He's been quoted on the making of the Dr. Horrible soundtrack or the Dr. Horrible movie. He just says if his phone rings and he sees the caller ID as Joss Whedon, he answers the phone by saying "I'll do it." So
Uh-oh.
we
He's
might
gonna give him
get-
some crappy role in Batgirl.
or he might get an incredible role in Batgirl.
Who could he play though? I don't even know. Does he play the villain? Some villain?
I think a lot of it is could come down to what version of
We're gonna find out who's the better friend of Nathan Fillion.
Yeah.
Is it
James
James
Gunn.
Gunn or Joss Whedon?
yeah, because he's friends with James Gunn
Yeah.
too. They did Slither, which is a super fun movie.
Yeah.
The only way that I could see it is if the Batgirl movie they went with the Cassandra Cain Batgirl, which I think was the third Batgirl, and
Isn't she Batwoman?
no, that
Oh no, that's Kate Kane.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, this is Cassandra Cain is I think the daughter of Taskmaster.
No, Taskmaster's
Not-
Marvel.
No, not Taskmaster. It's not the Sportsmaster. Anyway, I don't know. He's another like low rent like Batman villain, but he raised her to be an assassin. There's actually a really fun story arc in Batgirl about it. I don't need to get into it, but I could see him playing her father and being the villain in that.
Mm-hmm.
That I think could be a really good role for him if written right, and if Joss Whedon's writing and directing, it would be written right. I just fear studio involvement, and which is why I really hope that he does get like Wonder Man or something with Marvel.
Yeah, I don't know too much about this Wonder Man character, but James Gunn seems to love the idea of Nathan Fillion playing Wonder Man.
I love Nathan Fillion playing anything in any role.
Yeah. Nova, I think, would be a good choice for him.
No,
if they wanted to go that direction.
Yeah, as like Rick Rider, I think it'd be fun.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, but I would like to see them do that and beat DC to like their Green Lanterns, like Space Cop style movie.
Yeah.
And this is me as the person who loves the concept of Green Lantern, like more than any other comic, like concept or property. Not the character, the concept of Green Lantern.
I mean, I honestly think DC will get to that before Marvel gets to Nova.
Probably.
Although, you never know, because that Green Lantern Corps movie, it's in production, but it's one of the 15 some odd movies that DC is working on. So who knows where its priority is right now?
Well, there are rumors that Green Lantern might show up in Justice League.
I mean, I would like that, but then
because there was Henry Cavill was putting up pictures from a comic book art show he was at in London, and he posted a picture of himself standing in front of a reproduction of I think it's Showcase 22, the issue that introduced Hal Jordan, and it said something. I'm gonna get this wrong, but it's something along the lines of like great characters to see soon or something like that. I don't remember the exact quote.
There's no one cast, so if it does happen, it's gonna be, like
unless they're gonna try
CG one of the other Green Lanterns. It's gonna be like Evan Sur, or
Kilowog.
Yeah, Kilowog, or who's that other one? Yeah, Tomar-Ray. See, you know all these characters.
I do.
You got this down.
Because I love the concept of Green Lantern more than any of the characters.
It's good. Yeah, good concept. I like it too. And I guess I just want to say that everybody should watch the Green Lantern animated series if you haven't seen it. And if you like any of the animated, like Batman the animated series, Superman the animated series, Green Lantern the animated series is right up there with those.
Yes,
it's just really good. It should have gotten renewed, and I sure hope that with Young Justice coming back again, that they reconsider this show as well and possibly bring it back.
I would love that. Everything they did with it, I don't remember a bad episode of it. I'm not impartial. Like, I do love the character. I love animation, but it was cut short too early, and I think a lot of that came down to the fact that it was a cartoon and they had to make a decision early on because it takes so long to produce. And I have a feeling that's the same thing that happened to Young Justice.
Okay, yeah.
But
it was CG animated, so you think it probably quite doesn't take as long as hand drawn?
Possibly, but I don't know. I think it still takes a lot longer than live action.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So let's see. The next thing I got here to talk about is there's this really cool sneak peek video for the Mummy movie.
Yes.
Yes. This
there is definitely a sneak peek for the Mummy movie that came out. The descriptive.
That's what the YouTube video said. That's how it was titled.
It was titled a really cool.
No, it was sneak peek. Okay.
No, I agree.
I added the really cool.
That is the part that I may be disagreeing with.
Well, I mean, look, we get to see a lot of Russell Crowe's role as Dr. Jekyll in this movie and how he plays into it, and I like it a lot. I like that he seems to be the guy who's going to be tying together this potential cinematic universe of all these monsters.
All the Universal monsters.
Right. And he's like the scientist guy who's working in the secret lab that's like underneath, what did they say? The Museum of Natural History. I mean, neat. I mean, it's just fun. He's using like resources, I guess, museum resources or something to pay for stuff. And
yeah. It's just I saw League of Extraordinary Gentlemen and I read the comics.
But that's a cool idea, and
it's a very cool idea.
If you can make a better movie out of it, then why not try?
Yeah, but I don't. Well, okay. I should also say I really hate Russell Crowe.
Why? He's such a good actor.
He's such a douchebag.
I don't care if he's a douchebag. I don't know him personally. I'm never gonna meet him.
There was only one movie I ever enjoyed him in, and that was A Beautiful Mind.
The Gladiator?
Didn't like it.
Ah.
I did not like him. He was. I hate him as.
Leave.
Yeah. So you loved him as Jor-El?
Yes, I did. He's the
What is
best
wrong with
character
you?
in Man of Steel.
Oh my God, you have drank way too much, sir. We should say that we have been drinking while we've recorded
That's
these.
not true at all. Look, Jor-El in Man of Steel.
So wait,
the
what
only-
is the lie? That we haven't been drinking, or that Jor-El is?
No, Jor-El is the best character in Man of Steel. Okay.
No way.
He was such a badass. I loved him.
Take the word ass off. No, okay, no, I
Take
agree.
the word bad off, you mean?
Separate both words and use them both as adjectives. He was both bad and an ass.
No.
We found our common ground. We can agree, Carl.
I think that Man of Steel was a movie devoid of great characters beyond the two that die in that movie. And that's Jor-El and General Zod. The two best characters in that entire movie. And their conflict in the beginning of the movie is better than any conflict at all in the rest of the movie.
You're setting the bar so very low, sir.
Well, the movie did that. It's not my fault.
Like, I was
So
so
you can't even
bored.
argue it. You don't like him.
I was so
That sentiment is true, at least.
I was so painfully bored by the beginning of that movie. I did not care a second about anything they did on Krypton.
Really? I thought
The
that was
skull,
cool.
that whole skull thing. For
I mean,
like,
it was wildly ridiculous, but
it was. They were basically.
It was cool.
They were It was basically Gladiator on Pandora.
okay, sure.
Yeah.
I mean, there was no gladiator fighting. But
Well, okay. I was basically more so meant Jor-El being aggressive on the planet
Yeah.
from Avatar. Fine, whatever. I just didn't like it. I mean,
we're getting away from the topic at hand about the Mummy movie, and I like Russell Crowe as Dr. Jekyll and also Mr. Hyde, who we get only a brief glimpse at in this little trailer. And it doesn't. I'm assuming that you saw it, right?
yeah.
I'm assuming that this isn't his full transformation. Maybe there is more to it. It just looked like his
Yeah.
face was a little more sinister, and his eyes had changed in some way.
He looked like he was like really dehydrated. Like his veins were poking out. I
Something
think.
like that. Almost like a possession, like
Yeah.
a demonic possession.
I thought the effect was cool, and I completely buy Russell Crowe as being completely evil. And going around killing prostitutes. I think it is typecasting. That was me being hilarious.
Because he's a jerk in real life.
Yeah. Because
No.
he punches receptionists with telephones, Carl.
Like, there's a lot of actors who are bad people in real life who are really good actors. Like Christian Bale, he's a good actor. He's just not a good person.
No.
But anyway, this movie, I mean, part of the reason why I bring it up is because I'm actually interested in this movie. I don't feel like it's actually getting a lot of talk or play right now. I actually think it's projected to do pretty decently.
Yeah.
I read. But I love Sophia Boutella as the Mummy. I think she's fantastic. I loved her in Star Trek Beyond as whatever the white alien.
Jennifer Lawrence.
No, not Jennifer Lawrence.
No, Jayla. Jayla's the name of the character you're thinking of.
Right.
Her character is named after Jennifer Lawrence.
Oh, okay.
J-Law.
Got it.
Because Simon Pegg and I forget his writing partner, this is completely off topic, but they kept on referring to the Jennifer Lawrence character from Winter's Bone and to shorten it, they were like the J-Law character. So they kept on referring it to that point that they were like, screw it, she's
Okay.
Jayla.
So she was the best part of that movie, in my opinion.
No, I completely agree.
Really great character.
Yep.
Really great addition to that.
Yeah, no, she fit perfectly, and I really hope she shows up
Yeah.
in the next one.
And this role in Kingsman wasn't as big. She didn't have as much. She didn't talk as much. But again, really awesome role, really badass role. So like I'm excited to see her be this villain character and as the Mummy and see where that goes. That's great. And Tom Cruise, Tom Cruise is always good in everything he does, and he's kind of a nut, obviously, with the whole Scientology thing. But I mean, when you think about Tom Cruise movies, like there really aren't bad Tom Cruise movies. I mean, there's some that aren't that great, but for the most part, like he always puts out a great performance. Like he's always 100% in all his
He's
movies.
definitely all into the roles. I don't know if I've ever seen him disappear into a character. I don't know if if any of the characters I've seen him play are all that dissimilar from the other ones.
Yeah,
I think he's very much from a time,
right.
a time where you cast actors to act like themselves, whereas you do have some, like I'll say Gary Oldman is the example I always use. Even though he always looks like Gary Oldman, I will completely forget who that actor is when I watch.
Yeah.
Commissioner Gordon versus the guy from Fifth Element versus I'm completely spacing on the other character I was going to name, but
he's definitely a character actor. He can just play all these wildly different personalities.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I don't think Tom Cruise is that caliber of an actor, but he always gives a good performance in that role, and it's a similar performance, but he can play a little bit different. Yeah, I always enjoy his performance.
Yeah, I don't know.
So I really actually his character is the one I don't even know what his purpose is in this movie. He's just sort of the protagonist who are.
All I know is he's gonna run.
Yeah, he's gonna run. Yep.
All I know is there's some part of that movie he's gonna run, because Tom Cruise runs in every movie he's in. I honestly, this is not a joke, I think his Twitter bio is running in movies since 1984.
There you go.
Yeah. And I think that really sums up his entire film career.
Yeah, those Mission Impossible movies, man. All of them, except for 2, all of them are very good movies.
Yeah, for some reason, for the life of me, I can't get through Rogue Nation.
Was that the most recent one?
Yeah.
A really good movie, man. I was surprised how good the movie was.
There's just one point where I get to where either I just check out or I fall asleep or whatever. I really enjoy everything that I see up to that point.
Okay.
I like, even though I'm not a huge fan of Tom Cruise, I really like him in there. I really like Jeremy Renner. I really like Adam Baldwin.
Mm-hmm.
Or Alec Baldwin, sorry. Adam Baldwin's from Firefly.
Yeah.
And Bodyguard. But
and
My Bride. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I don't know. I'm very skeptical about the Mummy movie. I do want to see it, just to see what they do with it, because, I did like the original. From what little I remember, I liked the Abbott and Costello one. I really like the Brendan Fraser one, or at least the first 2.
Yeah, those were good movies.
They're fun. They are really fun movies.
Did you see Dracula Untold?
I did not know.
No, okay. That was the failed start at this whole Universal Monsters cinematic universe thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's at all going to play in at this point, that character. I doubt it, but you never know. They could bring that character into it, and probably wouldn't have to even see that movie, because everybody understands who Dracula is at this point.
Yeah.
So I mean, this is a concept that I think could really work. It's trying to do what the Marvel Cinematic Universe has done, but there's definitely a coolness factor to seeing all these different monsters in there. Now, are we going to get a Frankenstein? Are we going to get a Wolfman,
Invisible Man,
Creature from the Black Lagoon? Is kind of the one which I think should come back, because I don't know anything about that. And I don't know why there hasn't been a remake, because I feel like it's a concept that you could probably do better.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see them either doing a really great job with it or really screwing it up. I have a feeling that they would probably try and do like the Godzilla thing with it, where it's like all about the people menaced by the creature, and then you only see it for like 10 minutes in the whole movie.
Yeah.
Which works for Jaws, did not work for Godzilla.
Yeah. And good luck to them. Everybody's trying to do this whole cinematic universe, and no one's been able to do it yet, except for Marvel.
Yeah.
But I feel
and CBS.
CBS.
The network.
How did they do it?
NCIS and NCIS Los Angeles they cross over with Scorpion, with MacGyver, with Hawaii Five-0.
Great.
It is all a shared universe.
Certainly not on the same level, but all right, it's a thing.
It's Carl. I will have you know
that
those have been going on long before Robert Downey Jr. ever suited up as Iron Man.
Okay, but we're talking about movies here. And a movie cinematic universe is vastly different from a TV cinematic or TV universe, whatever.
TV universe, yeah, whatever.
The CW does it.
Look,
okay, if the CW can do it, anyone can do it on TV.
Yeah, look, it's all I have.
Yeah, right. But yeah, I mean, this movie looks like it's trying to handle it the right way. Like it
Yeah.
is first and foremost a mummy movie, but you happen to have Dr. Jekyll as a character who makes sense in this universe. It doesn't seem to be he's going to be like this obvious, he's a tie-in to something else. Like he just seems like he's a character in this universe that's important to this movie.
Yeah, I guess maybe what I would have hoped to see them do is just introduce him as Dr. Jekyll. And you don't know one way or another if it's just a name, if it's incidental, if you don't know if it is the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Well, it seems like you're not going to know. I mean, obviously...
Well, they tell you, like, right up front, in just watching this clip, you see him as Hyde. They reference him as Hyde.
He references that there's something about him, yeah.
I mean, they say Hyde in the clip.
They?
Yeah.
Okay, they probably do.
Yeah. And I would have much rather it been, like, they introduce him in this, and then maybe in another movie, or maybe they have a B storyline where you hear about, like, some killings, and people are expressing some concern, but it's completely in the background. And then in the next movie, let's say it is Creature from the Black Lagoon, his character shows up again, and you find out that he actually has to turn into Hyde to, take down the creature, and then you start shedding some light on the fact that he might be the one doing all the killing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, in this sneak peek, he had a line, something along the lines of like, it takes a monster.
Yeah.
To hunt a monster, to kill a monster.
Yeah.
So I mean that's good. That's good, like foreshadowing or allusion to what he is, without actually showing you. Which, like I said, only briefly. And I imagine we won't really see too much of it.
I don't know. I think with some things, I'm more so a fan of subtlety and a slow burn to a reveal, rather than like have it just be beaten over your head.
Yeah. But hey, it looks like we're both looking forward to this.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll go see this movie.
All right, I'm into it.
Yeah, because honestly, I can't think of a lot that I really want to see coming up. Like, I have to see Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
So I'm going to see that.
Yeah, Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, July. Mummy is sooner. I think Mummy is a week after
Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
It's going to eat into that sweet, sweet Wonder Woman box office money.
Both of those dollars. But then, we have, till November for Thor, and...
That's a long time.
Yeah.
Can't talk about that.
No.
All right, so let's move on to we got a trailer for the Black Lightning series.
We did
on CW, and
both exciting. And the trailer is exciting. Some news disappointing, but we'll get there.
Yeah, so I guess we can mention. Let's talk about the trailer.
Yep. Did
we like it?
Very much so.
Yeah. All right.
I was very excited by it.
I thought it was pretty interesting. That was a good build up for this character, an explanation for his motivations. Why he's this. It's interesting that he's a retired superhero. I like the fact that in it they say that he retires and he feels like he's going to be able to do more good as a school principal.
Yeah.
Influencing children or kids in school. That's cool because it's the whole superhero thing, like the crime fighting. Like, how much does that really make a difference? Yeah, if you're fighting superpowered people, sure. But in this, it doesn't seem like he's fighting anybody superpowered.
Yeah, if you're just taking out like somebody that's like ripping off an ATM or like mugging someone, you might be like making something known. You might make a name for yourself, but you're really not changing the world. Whereas, as an administrator in a school, you are influencing like a lot of lives, and
there's a good premise behind it. It seems like his daughters know who he was, and his daughters definitely seem like they have superpowers in this for some like either they
because what's it, they're Thunder and Lightning.
Oh, are they?
Yeah,
in the comics.
I don't know if in the comics, but I know from what I've read and seen online about this, you have the one daughter who is able to adjust her molecular structure so she can become, or her density, so that she can like become like super strong, and like I think she gets the name of Thunder from like crashing on the ground or stomping and creating like just sound waves from that. And then you have Lightning, who has, similar to her father, like the electrical powers.
Okay. But in this trailer, it seems like either they're just getting to know their powers, or their powers are just developing right now, and they're starting to learn to use them, or they're just starting to use them, or admit that they have powers to their father in some way, which is a cool concept. I'd like to see that play out in the show. Things I had a little problems with were, for one, the costume for him. He's got these like glowing lightning bolts on his chest that are like really big and really bright and really obnoxious.
He designed it in a different time, Carl.
No, but I think
this was from a time when you were listening to Eminem.
Because there's an old one you see briefly, I think, and then I think for the most part you see the new one.
Okay, I might have just glanced over that and thought that it was just the old one straight through.
I think because it looks like there's one shot, and his only thing is from behind. That that you see that looks like a different suit from the one that he's using predominantly in the trailer, which looks like the modern day one.
Yeah.
And man, is that bright lightning bolt just like a bullseye on his chest? Like, here I am, right here, come at me, I'm coming.
Yeah.
You can see it from a mile away. It's so bright. It's not good. Not good, man.
It doesn't bother me. I can see that, and hopefully they listen to this and they take criticism well. Like I said last time, I'm really looking forward to the middle of the summer when the pilot of this is leaked, so we can not get it from the internet and watch it and come up with criticism early, like happened with Constantine and The Flash. And,
I watched the Flash pilot before it released, and I really liked it. I was very
sold.
happy with it. Yeah,
I was sold. Yeah. I was sold from like that 4-minute trailer they put out, and then the pilot. I'm like, I can't wait for this. I think I watched it like 3 times that summer, like gearing up for the show to come out. But.
Yeah, it was good. Now, the other thing with this Black Lightning trailer is that your main hero, the actor playing him, or just the character in general, I didn't get a great idea of what his personality was and who he's gonna. He didn't seem very interesting from that trailer.
Yeah, they did not. I don't think they were trying to show a lot of personality. So I'll say it's a fault of the trailer. I'm not
right. It could be the trailer.
I do have a lot of faith in the people that are making these shows.
Yeah. Now the trailer built up the concept better than it built up the character. But even his daughter seemed to have more personality in this brief thing that we saw. So he seemed kind of, I don't know, not that interesting. Kind of bland. Like he's the dad guy. I don't know.
Maybe they were trying because he is like a school principal and a dad. Maybe that's what they were going for. Is they're trying to make him look like bland and boring and kind of like, oh, come on, dad. You're lame because you're dad. But then have him be like totally awesome and badass as Black Lightning when you're finally.
Goofy costume.
Yeah.
With those goggles. I don't know about those goggles either. They're okay. They weren't like glaringly bad as the big lightning bolts on his chest, but
we're getting there.
We'll see. Maybe hopefully it goes under some changes.
Yeah, because I will say, Supergirl. I think definitely got the costume right off the bat. Because I don't think they've changed it all between seasons. I don't think
so either.
It looks good. Flash, I think, definitely needed the evolution, and it's going to continue to evolve. I like how the costume that he's using now. Arrow, I actually liked his original costume a lot more than what he has now. I think he just needed the mask instead of the grease paint. So they're kind of all over the place with the intro of the costume. Yeah. So I have faith. I'll give it a little leeway, because I don't think they got as lucky as they did with Supergirl, where they essentially just matched exactly the costume to the comic.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, CW has done good jobs with their costumes. I like Adam.
Yeah,
it's not like the comic, but it works better for this version.
Mm-hmm.
I think Kid Flash's costume is really good. I enjoy that a lot.
Yeah,
I think that works well. Mostly Reverse Flash is good. Savitar's suit is really cool.
Yeah, I mean, it looks a little Transformer-y, but I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Because, it's a character I'm not supposed to like, and they're aping a franchise that I don't like, so I'm cool with it.
Jesse Quick's costume was not great.
No, it really seemed like it was reused from, what was her name, Velocity? Or the girl that was using Velocity 9.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. I see what you mean.
Yeah, it was... It seems like it was kind of ill-conceived for a character that that it was gonna stick around a lot longer.
Yeah. Anyway, let's see. We also have gotten a trailer now for Star Trek Discovery.
Yes, we did.
And I guess I'll first off just say that I actually think it looks pretty good.
Yeah.
It excited me more than I have been about this show because I've been kind of down on it, not
kind of
really
like how
expecting
last
too
week
much.
when you said you don't even think it's gonna happen.
Yeah, and apparently they had to just tell me, no, you're wrong, Carl. You're just a liar.
They're like, yeah, Carl. Hey, Carl, you looking? Hey, Carl, watch this, Carl. And then it was really good.
Yeah, like here's the trailer for the show that you say is not happening.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Let's see. So my first thought with this trailer, and then we can go into the normal discussion.
No, good.
Because, as Carl knows, I'm almost as unapologetic with Star Trek as I am with Star Wars. Carl does not let me forget that Enterprise is not a good show, and yet I genuinely love it.
I tried. I watched.
He was slowly working his way through a list I gave him of the best episodes.
Got through like 2.
Hey, dude, you tried.
And the second one was better than the first.
Yeah, I was amping it up. I was.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I was trying to build your tolerance.
Mm-hmm.
But
well, I also did not get through Voyager, so
Voyager, I watched all the way through original run, and then I've rewatched since. I've rewatched every episode of Star Trek that's come out. I've rewatched all the movies. I just genuinely enjoy the. It's just a very like positive look at the future, and it's a very positive look at humanity. I kind of like the optimism of it.
Yeah.
Plus, I really like the space adventure and and how each series is just a little different.
Mm-hmm.
What I'll say for this, I don't think it looks like a good Star Trek show. I think it looks like a really, 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 really great sci-fi show in space, but it does. I don't know where it fits in the Star Trek continuity. If it's in the original timeline, if it's in, because it can't, because it doesn't look like it's in the J.J. Abrams timeline.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it does have a J.J. Abrams Star Trek feel to it.
A little, but that's because it had lens flares and they did an okay job at mixing the technology. But for it being it's 10 years before Kirk, they say.
Right. Yeah.
And
so whichever Kirk, it's 10 years before that.
Yeah.
So I guess it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, but the technology doesn't look like it's there for either of them. It definitely looks like it's closer to Enterprise than it does to the original series or the J.J. Abrams verse. And don't get me wrong,
it feels like a lot like a J.J. Abrams verse. Like I'm watching that, and that's probably why I liked it, because I like those. They were more fun, more action oriented.
Oh yeah.
Not that I want only action. I actually do like a lot of the scientific, mystery stuff that was in Next Generation.
I love the more analytical, character driven stuff.
Yeah.
But I do also like. That's why I think I liked Star Trek Beyond. Star Trek and Star Trek Beyond more than Into Darkness, because I think Into Darkness relied more on action than it did on the character and the actual actually being more cerebral.
Yeah.
Not that they're really heavy movies, but
one thing I noticed that I thought was pretty funny about this is how the uniforms that they're wearing are way more stylish than what you see in the original Star Trek series 10 years later than this.
Yeah, I think. But if you look at it, I think they definitely look like an evolution of the Enterprise uniform. With the all blue, basically jumpsuit with the blue and gold trim. Mm-hmm. I do enjoy the fact that thanks to the internet, we now have a complete breakdown of what each different uniform means and where they're, because apparently now they're putting they have their ranks on their insignias. They have, instead of the pips on their collar or stripes on their sleeves like they had on the original series, now they have the pips engraved on the
so this is in
pins. In Discovery.
Oh God, I didn't even go into reading anything about it.
Yeah, like I said, I very much enjoy Star Trek.
Yeah, I could tell.
But the one thing that I really did get excited about for this trailer is I think this trailer is a prequel to the series. because you don't see the Discovery at all in the trailer.
Yeah, it definitely felt like it's like a little TV movie
Yeah.
special that's going to lead into the actual series.
Yeah, because because what we know about Discovery is that Jason Isaacs is playing the captain, and I don't remember her name, but the female, the first officer that we see in this is his first officer on the Discovery. So I think everything in this is leading up to something bad happening, so that she does not get the command that her and Michelle Yeoh are talking about, and she becomes the first officer, possibly on a probationary period on the Discovery, which looks like it's a less advanced ship than the one she's on in this trailer, which I think is really exciting. I think it's a really interesting take to do with a trailer, than to say like, this is what our show is going to be. Instead, it's like, yeah, this is what's leading up to our show. If that's what they're doing, I'm kind of excited about that.
Okay. Yeah, and the lead character is from The Walking Dead.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I like her in that show.
Yeah, if I watched that show, I would have liked her. I gave up on that show.
Yeah, she could be good in this.
And I have seen her on Walking
Yeah.
Dead. She was in the season before.
There's that weird alien guy. I don't know what kind of alien he is.
Oh, Doug Jones.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with yes.
I think Doug, the one that has like those weird slits over his face.
Yeah, he's
The one who he senses when death is coming.
Yeah, that was a weird line. I wasn't quite sure.
That I didn't love. That,
yeah.
Like, why would he be able to sense death? Like I don't.
And if he's sensing death, then there better actually be death.
And also,
because he can't sense it if it's not going to actually happen.
Yeah, and also if he can sense death, why don't they have one of every one of his species on every single starship?
Because they're endangered.
Okay, I'm sold. Sure, that works. And he's defying his species by joining Starfleet.
Oh, we got to talk about the Klingons in this, by the way.
Oh yeah, that was kind of an issue I had.
What are they going for? They look different than any Klingons we've seen in any iteration of any Star Trek.
The Klingons in this look the closest they look like are to the original movies, like the original series movies, the ones that came before. I would say probably from like motion picture until the third one. It's not exact, it's closest, but also you have to keep in mind at this point in time they've already established in canon that the Klingons lost their cranial ridges that they have in Next Generation.
Right, but they have them here.
They have them here,
way.
But they shouldn't have them because it's been established,
right,
through Enterprise that they were messing with genetic augmentation.
And
they don't. And that's not like an Enterprise thing. They didn't have those in the original series.
Right, and there was that kind of weird explanation that they just came up with because
they had to explain the continuity.
Yeah, because when they went to Next Generation, they decided we're going to make these more interesting.
Well, no, it was in the motion pictures when they made the decision, because they had the budget to finally make all the aliens look different, not just the Andorians and the Tellarites.
Right. So the Klingons in the original series were just like what? Darker skinned humans with like weird, didn't they have weird eyebrows?
Yeah, they had weird eyebrows and like weird like Van Dyke goatees.
Yeah. They just had facial hair that distinguished them. So
that's all it was. And also Tribbles didn't like him because that was in Trouble with Tribbles. That's how they were able to tell who the undercover Klingon was, because he shaved. He shaved, so they're like, yeah, he just looks like a dude.
Oh, that was the episode in
Deep Space
Nine where Worf makes a comment about like why they look so different.
He's like, it's not something we like to discuss with outsiders.
Yeah.
Oh man. Which, I mean, it was great. Like, I was totally cool with that. If there was just like another, because they did it with the Trill in Next Generation, where you have the two different species of Trill from different continents, where like you had ones with the spots going down their sides, and the other ones that just they had completely different facial features, and I'm totally cool with them just saying, yeah, they're from a different continent. Why not?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I mean, I guess it's just a minor gripe. I mean, if you're into continuity, it might be a problem, but we don't know what continuity this is in.
Yeah, they're definitely gonna have to answer.
As long as the show's good, I'm eventually just not gonna care.
Yeah.
that they're different. Although I would have preferred them to just make them look like the Star Trek Next Generation ones if they were going to do that at
Yeah.
all. They're going to
Yeah.
make them look like if they're not going to make them look like obviously the original series one, which was just kind of goofy, and at the time that's what they did.
Yeah.
Then you should just go with the most iconic one that most people know.
Yeah, which is basically Worf. Like,
Right.
I don't know. I completely agree with you 100%. As long as the show is good, I'll enjoy it.
Yeah, so I mean, like this trailer did a lot. This did good. I'm more
Yeah.
excited about it now.
Oh, very much so. And what excited me more about it is to actually know that they're well into filming where they can actually cut something together of this quality.
Oh yeah, it's much farther along than obviously I thought.
Yeah. You're like,
So,
yeah, I don't know. I think they're doing some shit. I don't know.
all right. Let's see. Do we want to talk about the Twitter reaction to the Wonder Woman movie?
Oh yeah, let's talk about that. How much we don't believe it.
So this is like this is actually like legitimate Twitter reaction. So this is reactions from people who are like industry people, who are critics, who are people who are actually going to be writing reviews for this
Yeah.
movie. So these are more legitimate reactions than what we were getting from like Batman, Superman, and Suicide Squad when that happened.
First
So-
one is from Diana Prince of the Themyscira Times.
Yeah, like I don't know all of these, but I do know a few of these names
Yeah.
that I'm looking at here. But you know, there's a lot of best DCEU film to date in these.
Really low bar. And you know what? Based from what I've seen on the trailer and that little fighting clip we watched earlier, I completely buy it.
It probably is the best, but that doesn't mean it's a good movie.
Yeah.
And I'm getting a bit annoyed by people freaking out over this. You know, I was watching some video about people discussing these Twitter reactions, and they're like ranting and raving about how amazing the movie is just because people are saying it's good. And,
Yeah.
and you really need to hold your horses on this one, because you know, this is a movie that I feel like is going to get the benefit of doubt when it comes to people viewing it and reviewing it,
Yeah.
because it's not going to be, I don't think it's going to be a bad movie.
No.
It probably won't be, but that doesn't mean it's going to be a really good movie or even a good movie in general. Kind of like Prometheus. Like Prometheus, I say it's a bad movie, but like it's not a terrible movie. It just
Yeah.
has a lot of problems.
Yeah. It's a movie where like I didn't hate that I watched it, but I never feel the urge to watch it again.
Like I don't know. I feel like this movie might get that whole like kind of Ghostbusters, bump where 2016 Ghostbusters,
Yeah.
where it got inflated reviews because people wanted it to be good. They wanted to say good things about that movie.
Yeah.
Because they wanted the empowerment of females in these different lead roles
Yeah.
that they don't normally get. And this is why I'm very skeptical of what I'm seeing here. I'm like, yeah, okay, it's gonna be fine. But when I see things like, where's one comment here?
Well, I think
Like people saying great things about Gal Gadot. Gal Gadot owns it. I mean, I don't buy it yet. I have to see it to believe any of this, because I have never once seen Gal Gadot put forth any sort of good performance that she's ever stood on it.
Yeah, which I will say, she's never been put as a lead in a movie, so she's never really, or at least as far as I know, she's never been put in a position where she could really stand out. Because in the Fast and the Furious movies, she's put in there just to be the hot girl who eventually dies, so that the other guy can get all bummed out and go to Tokyo and die. Like,
Yeah.
that's all I've ever seen.
She was not keeping up with the Joneses the other year.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Nobody saw that. But it's just the kind of thing where it's like, look, why hasn't she gotten any significant roles if she's out there in the industry, and she's a very attractive woman? Like, she should probably get a chance, and it hadn't happened yet for a long time. So that makes me skeptical of her just not having the talent. But we'll see. But you get comments here that say, like, it says, "Oh, best part of Wonder Woman is the film has really funny parts and an optimistic and heroic protagonist. Great step forward for DC films." Like, okay. Any step forward is a great step forward.
Yeah.
You know? Another one, look, my favorite of the recent DC films. I'm like, yeah, okay. That's not saying much.
Yeah.
Someone says she reminds me of Christopher Reeve Superman. True North superhero with no angst or cynicism, which is needed right now. Like, all right. So,
Okay.
yeah, I mean, she's Wonder Woman shouldn't have any angst or cynicism. That's pretty much a given, I think, for the character.
Yeah. I mean, Superman shouldn't have either.
And we know what happened there.
Yeah.
Easily my favorite DCEU film. Has humor and heart the franchise so desperately needs. Gadot and Pine are charming as hell. Okay.
I buy half of that.
Yeah, right. But again, I almost so many of them keep saying that, oh, this is his favorite DCEU film, you know. What do we got here? I'm finally allowed to say it. I loved Wonder Woman. I teared up watching her fight. Look, if you're tearing up watching her fight,
Yeah.
you're not being serious about this movie.
And I hope
being critical.
I mean, I hope a lot of those reviews are coming from the same place. Actually, no, I'll rephrase that. I hope a lot of those reviews are coming from a genuine and honest place, and that's completely true. I have a feeling, I hope that they're not bot reviews or reviews that are put out to try and, you know, make the movie sound better than it is.
Well, I'm not giving the names, but these are actual,
Yeah.
like most of them are registered Twitter users who are people in the industry, like I said, or critics. I don't want to give out.
Yeah, no, that's fine. But my hope is that a lot of the positive reviews that are coming from it are, you know, in the same vein of my review of the Green Lantern movie, which is I went into it, I wanted to see a Green Lantern movie. And I watched that movie, and you know what I saw? I saw a Green Lantern movie, and I loved it because I saw exactly what I wanted.
So you were like this one where it says, so now I can tell you that I love the Wonder Woman film. Everything I wanted in a Wonder Woman movie and more. Congrats.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean it's a good movie.
No, and I'll never say, like, the Green Lantern movie is a good movie. I'll say it's a movie I really like because I wanted to see that character and I wanted to like that movie. And I hope that if these are not accurate reviews, then it's at least coming from a place like that, where it's at least coming from a place of a love of the character and not just trying to change the opinion of a franchise that's really kind of struggling at this point.
Mm-hmm. And here's another one. It says, Wonder Woman film is everything you want in a Wonder Woman movie and more. It's the film even DCU critics will love. I mean,
hey, like we've said it a lot, we're gonna see the movie no matter what.
That's true. Yeah.
And unlike you, I won't walk out of it.
I probably won't. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, it's not gonna be Suicide Squad bad, right?
No.
We can assume that based on these reactions, they sound more legit than anything we've seen or heard about Suicide Squad before that came out.
Yeah.
I guess. I mean, people were saying they loved that movie though.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to buy any of this stuff when people said they loved Suicide Squad.
But hey, you know what? Suicide Squad didn't have Chris Pine, and it didn't have anyone of his caliber. Mm-hmm. It had Will Smith, who was likable and fun and charismatic, but...
So yeah, here's another one. Everyone is asking me about Wonder Woman. It's the best DC Universe movie yet. Emotional, funny, light. Gal Gadot is a star. I mean, she's a star, yeah, because they forced her to be one.
Yeah.
I mean, she's the star of this movie because they chose her to play the lead character. I mean, yeah, of course.
Yeah, they definitely threw her in our face, but you know, I mean, like I said, I don't have much hope for the movie. Or no, I have a lot of hope for the movie. I don't expect much from the movie. And you know, and I'll go into it and I'm sure I'll enjoy it. Mm-hmm. Or I'll enjoy aspects of it.
Any other gems here? Let's see. This one where it says, I loved Wonder Woman so much. Easily one of the best superhero origin films I've ever seen. Amazing action, and Gal Gadot is pure heaven.
It's really nice they're letting her mom review movies.
Pure heaven.
Pure heaven.
Yeah.
That's either her mom or like a 15-year-old fanboy who has like her poster plastered to his wall.
Oh man! All right, so this movie is, boy, it's how long? It's just June 2nd or something.
Yeah, June 2nd.
So
We're just about 2-3 weeks away from that.
yeah, less than 2 weeks away right now. Wonder when we getting those reviews? Probably sometime next.
Yeah.
Well, knowing DC, I mean, if they're confident, maybe mid next week,
Yeah.
but maybe not until Monday, the 29th.
I'll put it this way. I can't wait to be wrong about that movie.
I want to be wrong. I really do.
I really do. I really want to be wrong.
Don't want to sit through a bad movie. So yeah,
I want to come out of that and be like, wow, that was. She has never been given a chance like this. Good for her.
Yeah, right.
And I hope I really hope that's my reaction.
Yeah, Zack Snyder really found that hidden gem.
Yeah. It's like, you know what? I trust him now.
Mm-hmm.
I can't imagine myself saying that. I still stand by what I said earlier, where I really hope that.
Hope she's not a Megan Fox.
Yeah. I mean, I'm fine with her taking over a Turtles franchise that I'm not going to watch, but.
Oh god, that franchise. Oh boy. All right. I think we're done here today.
I would say so.
This has been the show here.
Yep.
It's a good episode.
I say so.
Episode number 2 of the
Dose.
Superhero's Journey. Podcast where we talk mainly about superhero movies and TV shows. My name is Carl Freeman.
I'm Brian Shores.
Ryan Shores, my co-host.
Yes. Which will forever be my title now.
It's a good title.
I like it.
Please find us on Twitter and write to us. Give us some comments. We'd love to hear what you think of the show, and maybe we can do some sort of user feedback comments and read your comments on the air. If you have any questions you want us to talk, things you want us to say, or whatever.
Yeah, just anything. Please, by all means, subscribe. Review us on iTunes and Google Play. It helps get the show out there. We'll be able to be seen more.
Mm-hmm.
Tell your friends, anything to get us out there. We're very desperate and lonely.
Don't speak for me, Brian, okay?
Sorry. Carl is only desperate. I don't mean to say he's lonely. He has a very lovely fiancée to keep him company.
Okay, so Twitter, please. @Superhero Journey. No E in super. And also you can write to us if you want to do a long, drawn-out email form talking about how terrible we are or how great we are.
Either or
how much you disagree with our opinions on Wonder Woman and Gal Gadot. Please feel free. Email us at thesuperheroesjourney@gmail.com, where heroes is plural, not possessive. All right, thanks for joining us.
We'll see you next week.